Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we are at another job. Man, so that demo job I was doing the other night, I ended up smashing my wrist with the sink, that giant sink I was picking up. So long story short, I'm putting this hand wrap on. I was up till about 3:30 this morning because I was icing my hand because it hurt so much. Literally, my wrist bowled over like that, and I iced it down. But you can see between the two, that this one's bigger than this one. They're just these little challenges life throws, you know? So I had this hand wrap from when I was doing Muay Thai kickboxing, and I wrapped it around. That's why it's also down. Jeez, I can't even touch that. Like, from here to here, my hand got pinned between the bin and the giant marble countertop that I was carrying by myself. And interesting part of this story is that I have a clear shot to the outside with this thing. And I'm walking through the house, weaving, making sure I don't hit anything, right? And as I get to the front door, I swear, it's like one of those things that happens when you're driving, where people deer in the headlights, but then they just get in your way. Well, that's exactly what happened last night. This thing is heavy, like it's not light. I'm carrying it by myself on my shoulder, awkwardly, right? It has this like lip that sits against the wall. So if you put it against the wall, the counter goes like this, and then the lip goes up. So I'm carrying it from that lip on my shoulder. So I'm coming through the kitchen. Imagine this is the doorway, and the doorway is only this big. The guy, as I'm like almost out the doorway, he walks, "Oh, let me get the door for you." And then he stands in the way, so I only had this much room to get through. And this thing's already starting to like weigh down on me to the point where I'm like, I'm not gonna drop this thing, I just gotta get to the bin. A few more feet, right? I get to the bin, I have it in on my shoulder, and I'm holding like the sink is a bowl here, and it's like really awkward to grip. Holding it, I throw it over off my shoulder into the bin, and my hand get caught right between the bin and this giant marble piece that's like so hard to pick. It must have weighed like 200 pounds. Crushed my wrist. Instantly, I pull my hand out, and it just goes whoop. I'm like, oh, I hope I didn't do some serious damage, but I can move my fingers. It's just super tender right now. So I iced the hell out of it. I did hot cold ice therapy kind of thing where I was like sitting in a hot bathtub, and I would ice my hand and then take my hand and then drop it in the hot bathtub, hold it there for a few minutes. But so here we are at this job with the challenges of having to rip apart this bulkhead and do it properly. And yeah, it's been super interesting lately. Like the just back and forth. I should have just stayed in Strathmore and finished that job and said, screw this job. I don't care because they still haven't agreed to my terms. So now I'm just here as an hourly guy. And oh man, that's just putting that across that part of my wrist. Oh. Okay. So obviously when you're doing hand wraps, you want to keep your hands open. So anyways, long story short, I get my hand crushed because somebody thought it was a great idea to get in the middle of the doorway while I am carrying that massive sink. I'm just gonna do Yeah, I forgot how to wrap my hands. No, it's like this. Back over, that's right. It's been so long. Back over that. I don't need to go full wrap because I want most of the support around my wrist. So I'm not going to continue wrapping it through my fingers. I'm just going to feel so much better just having that little bit of tension on it. I gotta go lower because my forearms are so fat. The Velcro doesn't even go all the way around. So, here we are. This is what we're doing. We're removing all of these bulkheads and making it work better. Because it's not going to work like this. You should never do bulkheads. Look at this. This thing, see how that moves? It makes no sense to have it like that. You should have a continuous piece that goes from here all the way across. Yeah, I don't know. And there's a shit ton of screws and nails in this. Oh my god. Nails, there's screws, look at that. And so, here's the other interesting thing. The electrician never told me there was no lighting here, so that's why we're using the lighting from the camera setup. Which I guess is going to have to work. What else are you going to do? Bringing everything through the window. Oh. And I brought my table saw so I can, out of the 2x6 I bought, we can the 2x6 I bought, we can rip our little pieces of 2x2 that we're going to be using here. There's lighting and electrical attached to this and that. Silly. Here's something funny. Look at this. They're like, oh, that piece is too short. What piece is too short? What piece could you figure out in this mess is too short? Oh, maybe it's this piece with the cardboard on it. There you have it. Well, let's start by tearing this thing apart. Let's start with that. I really don't want to. Let's put this back here. That way you guys can witness the greatness. I do things properly. So we have screws and we have nails. which is special. So that means we're screwed and we're nailed. This is just going to make it so much more special. The dog that just doesn't stop barking. Pretty sure there's something behind this carpet. Oh look, I found a shim. Oh, more screws. Who would have thought, right? Well, at least we can use some of the wood again. We're going to have a lot of extra screws, which is not bad. Let's take this guy off. Put this over here somewhere out of the way. Way out of the way. Out of our way. A dog. Let's undo. Screws in the side. Man, what is there like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws per. Oh wait, there's another one up here. Please tell me it's not a different one. Oh, that's for the backing. You know what the crazy thing about the screws are? They don't make them the same way they used to. Let's get this angle from this way, that way you guys can see. It's gonna be a long day, feels like. Oh, my body's just beat. Anyways, I think everything down here is screwed. No pun intended. But just so you guys know, I don't know, here's some fun facts. A screw's shearing weight, which means to cut a screw, is less than an actual nail. The screw shearing weight is 250 pounds, and a nail, like even just a strip nail, where are we here? So like you can take a nail, and to cut a nail straight through, it takes 750 pounds. Screws are weaker than nails. Screws may be able to pull things in and hold things a little bit differently, but when a structure starts to like vibrate and move around, the screw's going to break before the nail. Fun fact. And these crappy nails, because they're Paso nails, but they're good nails, but they're not like normal regular Ardox nails. Those Ardox nails are the ones that have the spiral. That's the best thing you can use if you're building a house. If you hand frame a house, that thing's gonna last forever. That's why they put glue on these nails, so that when it goes in, the heat melts the glue and it holds the nail better. These are a smooth shank nail or a spiral nail. When you pull it out, it actually twists out, so it has a better hold than this per se, because it's just a stronger nail. But in my opinion, you shouldn't use screws to build any basement or wood projects unless it's like craft stuff, not like trying to hold things together. Sure, you could put tons of them in there. Doesn't mean it's that much stronger. Well, yeah, technically you would need 3 nails to 1 regular nail. So you do the math. We got like 3 nails per 2x4, and then 3 screws. above, which I don't get, but why don't you just nail the whole thing together? So, with all that said, here we are. My hand is not feeling good at all. At least I can swing the hammer. I was kind of worried when that happened yesterday. Okay. Leave one in so that I can do it one by one. That one screw is going to hold that. Like, look at how many screws, Jesus. That one's bent. Can't use that. That one's not bad. I'm gonna save what I can for the only time I use screws is like if I'm making something temporary that I just want to take apart easily. That's usually what I do. Okay. There's stuff nailed to it. There's that's nailed to that. Man, I swear, today I have the patience of like a barking dog. This is nuts. Let's do it wrong, everyone. See what we got going on. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? My hand is sore. It'll make you uncomfortable. I like that. That's a good title name. Alright, this is now we're getting to this section here. Let's put this back. I should almost get my blue light glasses because my eyes don't like LEDs. Okay, so those are ripped apart. Surprises? Oh. Like maybe more screws from the back. It's like 20 million. Coming loose. Oh look, I found another shim. That's what it is, I guess. What do you do? It's being held together by 100 screws. Up top. This one's got one here. stapled to that wire. See if we can unstaple it with the hammer. There it is. All right. You see that? Look. Remember I was telling you about screws? That one just broke under that weight. You can't trust screws. I wouldn't build anything structural with them. How did they do? Screwed together somewhere. Here. Oh, there we go. We found it. We found it. Alright. Thank God we got the framing nailer. Oh, baby. It's not even on. Okay, so here's another thing that's kind of an issue here. So I don't know if you notice, there's plastic on this side. No plastic below. I asked the electrician buddy, I'm like, where'd the plastic go? He's like, oh, I had to cut it because you weren't here. I'm like, why didn't you just, whoa, we're gonna lose the phone. Whoops. Why don't you just lift it up and staple it to the wall? So now what's gonna have to happen is we are gonna have to put the poly up and tape that entire seam all the way around the exterior wall. I never said they had brains. So this is what we're dealing with. Yeah, no lights. This job is screwed. Oh boy. This is the only light I got is my the light I was using to recover that kayak. So here we are, taking everything down, starting with a clean slate. I could start with taking this 2x2 down. Just check to see if the camera angle is good enough for you guys. So much screws, it's crazy. Look, this little pouch is already almost full. hot, hot, hot. I don't. Not making sense here. Why do you need two of these side by side? Because that one's going to get ripped out. Nailing's faster and better, to be honest. Is there two here? Let's just makes no sense. For whatever reason, that was there. Oh, more screws. Wait, it gets better. There's another one somewhere. I can see it. Oh no, there's not. Okay. My pouch is already heavy. Look. Look at how many screws I've pulled out. Look at this. That's one handful. Basically 1.5. I'm not done yet. But we'll reuse these somewhere. Gotta undo these. Let's give you guys a different perspective here. Perspective of how many screws are in the board. Too many to count, and a lot more. And there's literally like it's hot. Look at how hot it is. plastic. Ooh. Okay. There. One more screw at the far end. Don't worry, Jack will show you how to do this. Okay, skip. It's crooked too. It's probably one of the problems. Almost at a clean slate here. Almost. Now I gotta work in this corner. So we'll set you guys up over here. I don't know if I'm going to have enough battery power on the lights to keep this going. We're already at 3/4 of the way here. Sometimes when you're unscrewing these screws, it's best to leave one already kind of halfway screwed out, because if you unscrew it totally, then the next screw won't be held. The wood won't be held in place, so it'll just actually push the wood off, and you'll have a hard time getting the screw out. What I mean by that is, like, let's say this is buried all the way in there and you're trying to pull it off. Sometimes it'll just spin where it is. If you don't have another screw holding it against whatever it was screwed to, then you're going to have an issue getting that screw out. But this one, it's not going to happen on that because I already did the process where I unscrewed one halfway and then I took that one out and then went back to the other one that was half unscrewed. The reason why I'm not just like ripping this out with a crowbar, because these are TGI joists and we don't want to damage the structural integrity of the joist. So if I rip it out, it'll pull the wood with it, cause damage. So this is just an easier way to do it. Back to screw out, and my finger went into the metal. I'm bleeding for you guys. So I had my thumb on the back of the drill, and it drilled in, went backwards into that metal pan. Anyways, woohoo. All right. I might just leave this strip here, because I know that beam has to be level, and I could just nail up to it. It'll save me a lot of grief. So we got I was gonna say I'll leave this piece because we're just gonna nail up to the bottom of that. We won't be able to get that height that we need to get up there, so we're just gonna do a ladder system. What you do is you shoot a strip along, and then you build like a ladder that comes up on the side of the man, just like not having enough sleep is definitely not helping my explanations. So we're gonna build a ladder going down the side of this ducting. Try not to get my eyes stabbed out. The wires hanging down. So tired right now. All right. Man, I feel like I guess I can knock all these pieces off. Oh. See, that was nailed. We're going to be able to reuse a lot of this, which is great. So. Sorry if I'm not so enthusiastic right now. It's like I need an energy drink. Is what I need. Whatever we can reuse, we will. A lot of this stuff is all nailed. We're gonna make our own 2x2s though. Oh. Some of these we're gonna have to use up over on this above this door. See this? There should have been some kind of a wall from here to here all the way across, but they didn't install that, so don't know. Rich says hi. Hi, Rich. Hopefully you're getting rich watching this show. Bad dad joke. Let's get that thing leveled out there. Well, throw all these pieces in the corner because I'm not going to need them. I got to tighten up. I'm going to tighten up that tighten up this heating duct and push it over just to kind of make the box smaller. Like the way they built it, the box was literally out here, and we can have it here so it's not it's not taking up so much room on the ceiling. Anyways, we're gonna have to go outside. And rip some 2x6. Let me turn these lights off and you guys can follow me. Just because we gotta conserve as much light as possible. There. Let's go outside and get these, because we're gonna need one and 2 and 3. So I gotta make like at least 4, maybe 6 2x2s. Let's check on the gorgeous animal. Not this one, the other one. See if he's alive in the truck because it's hot today. So much brighter out here. Look at this beautiful day. Where is this guy? Does he need... Here, come out here. Did you drink all your water? Oh yeah, that's empty. Oh, almost. Let's get you in the shade over here while we cut. Right? Oh, that dog. Did you get stung? Yeah, you got stung. Watch, don't. There's a bee. That bee just stung you. He's angry. You must have stepped on him, Chunks. He's not happy. Oh, he didn't like that stinging. Look at this guy. That's a big guy, too. Poor guy. Poor guy got stung and... Let me see the... Where'd you get stung? Did you get stung on the foot? This poor guy. Yes, look at him. Oh my God. Look at that guy. I love my dog. Man, do I ever love my dog. I'll tell you. Anyways, so we got the 2x6 we need over here. And we can set up the table saw in the driveway while Chunks is literally loving life, living life. Can't even see him in the shade. Look, so I'm gonna lay in the only shade that I can find. Don't throw shade at Chunks. So here we are. And now we're gonna set up. I'm gonna go grab the table saw out of the truck and we're just gonna put it in the driveway somewhere. Make our 2x2. get here. On the Texas Mickey Jack channel. Live. Unadulterated content. So run a cord. So what I'm going to show you is how I rip my 2x2s. This is how I do it. So I take a piece of wood and I put it against the blade. Right? I use a smaller piece of wood. And then I move the guards so that it's tight, but then I leave like a little gap. So if that's there, that's tight. That's tight, and I just back it off a slight. Now, if your saw is accurate, you could just set it for 1.5 inches and check to make sure it's good. Double checking this. It's nice, beautiful. The blade doesn't really move as you pass through it. Next thing you want to do is you want to adjust the height of the blade so that it's past, comes up past the wood. Just like so. So check this out. We got the height perfect. The wood. Oh, why is it all of a sudden? So that it shouldn't move when you put it through. Those are nails. There's nails on that side. See that? Like a little bit of movement is fine. We can be 100 in our measurement there. And that should give us 1.5 inches perfectly. So let's see what we can do here. Obviously we got staples to pull. after I pull that sliver. So I cut it here. Let's see if that lines up perfectly with the top of that one. See that? It's perfect. So that's good. Let's cut some more. eye too is ripped. Now, set it up in the window. The shade's better here, Chunks. Most gorgeous animal. Look at this guy. The most amazing animal ever. Look at you. Oh, you're in your own shade. So 2, 4, 5. Send these in the window. Alright, so now that we're here, I'm gonna put this camera on the windowsill here. Let's get you some water. I'm gonna lay down. least we saved some battery life on the lights. So now I'm just gonna kind of have these lights going, and there, so I can show you guys how we're gonna do this. Okay, so I think this is so far one of the better views. Right, let's set that up like that. Let's tilt it a little. Boom. Okay. Now we need to get a measurement to the tight side of this bulkhead, snap a line across. First, let's get this material in. So just so you guys know, the reason why I cut my 2x2s with the table saw is, number one, they're straighter. Number two, they don't split as much when they're freshly cut like this. So you could shoot them and they won't split. If you buy them from the store, chances are they're going to split. They're too dried out. Yada, yada, yada. So, here we are. We're going to set everything up and get to building some bulkheads and ladders. Now I think the best place to explain what I'm doing is going to come from this angle here, because I gotta basically get that wall to this edge of the bulkhead. I'm going to show you how I get that number. Studs just want to slide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from that wall, have the square coming down to this edge. So we're going to measure to this edge. We got 62 3/4. I'm going to just double check my measurement because I added an inch and a half. Four and a quarter, outside to outside measurement. And just so you can see that I'm doing this from both ends, and then we're going to snap a line. Right, so we're going to go from that wall over to this side of the ducting. Being that it's dark in here, I have to stand on the side for a while so I can't see the line. Four and a quarter. That's good because it works out on the actual backing here, which is not bad. Now, but actually, I don't need backing on this side. I can just go on this side of the joists. Sorry, I had to answer that phone call. So I'm going to double check that measurement. Because we're being interrupted in the moment. .106. So it's 107.5 minus 3.5 inches. Because they want it tight to that. So 107.5 minus 3.5 inches. That's my full length. So for the top one, I want it to be 1.5 inches longer. You want it to catch that joist on the other side. There's a joist over here. So we're going to use the best wood that we cut. Some of it has knots in it. Let's see here. This one's a nice piece. That one's a nice piece. Alright. So this one's split at this end, of course. A little bit. You're going to want to cut off any unwanted. Anything that's damaged. Any knots at the end. Got lots on that. So let's oh, it's not really. Why is it? I'm trying to set up the camera for you guys better. Today's just one of those days where exhaustion meets for fuck's sakes, you fucking piece of shit. Fucking goddamn. Frustrated today. Okay, it's gonna hold the position now. Thank you, camera stand. I got a knot at this end and split at this end. I'm just gonna cut that off. See how the block broke into several pieces? So with my framing square, I'm going to mark it so that I remember that I need 1.5 inches extra on this end. There's still a split. This is why you don't let someone else choose your wood for you. Seven is what I need. Seven and a half. 7.5. That's full length. Minus 3.5 inches. Which gives me a piece of 104. Top one has to be 105.5, and the bottom one has to be 104. this, and that's going to work out perfectly at the end. Catch that joist. That should actually work out perfectly. Seemed like the one mark was a little off. Seemed like it was a 1/4 inch short, actually. So now we're bang on. So let's cut. Let's cut what we need to cut here. Okay. We got that. Now what we want to do is measure 2 foot on center. The other light. Splits. Man, my brain's not working. 46 1/4. 70 1/4. 94 1/4. So basically, if you want to get 3.5 inch piece of wood on center, like let's say you got 2 feet, right? 2 feet's right here, and you want it to be on center, you'll go back to 22 1/4 to split the difference, so that when you go to put your drywall up, you're only going to have 2 foot, 4 foot, 6 foot, 8 foot, and those will be your centers. The sheet is always going to be 8 feet. So when you throw that sheet up, it's going to land halfway on that block without you having to move blocks or anything like that. That's the whole point of doing your centers. So now that I've got that, and we really don't have any light down here. I know it looks like there's light on camera, but try to like look at pencil lines. I'm going to come back, I'm going to scribe all those lines all the way through and put an X. marks the spot. Over here. That works out real nice. So we've established the total measurement from the ceiling down to the bottom of the bulkhead is 11 inches. But you're going to have to minus 3 inches out of that measurement to get the size of your block, because these two pieces are 3 inches wide. Right? So if, for instance, I just cut a block at 11 inches, right? Which this one's already 11 inches. And let's say this is the bottom piece, this is the top piece, and I measure from the top down, I'm going to end up with 14 inches. So I have to get rid of that, which my line is 11 inches. Get 11 inches, because these blocks are all not cut, right? Let's just do this. I'm going to make 2 cuts. I'm going to get rid of these holes from the old screws. Cut off these nails and measure everything in. So I only need to do a couple. One there. One, two, three, four, 5, 6 blocks in total. So what I got is we're using old stuff to not waste it all. Got 5, I need 1 more. I don't like to apologize. I am exhausted. So if I sound a little weird, it's because I basically went to bed at 3:30, got up for 7:30. And yeah, I'm just tired. 6 blocks. So what I'm doing, and this is only because I'm OCD a little bit here. I'm gonna cut the nails off, then measure so I can cut off the holes that make it look like it's shit. So we're just gonna cut that. I think the saw has a light. Another inch and a half. I could do it with a little square, but my OCD wants it like this. Okay. 2, 4, 5. How am I still with only 5 here? I need another one, I guess. 2, 4, 5. Can't see yet because it's like an inch and a half, I guess. Okay, now that we've cut all those blocks, we're going to measure them again to get our difference, because 11 inches from the why is my brain not working today? If I went like 11 inches there, my pieces should be 8 inches, all of them. So we're just going to do that. Get rid of all these damaged screw holes. And 8. So, let's do this all over again. Okay, we've got all those blocks cut. We can build our ladder. Literally gonna build it on this bench. best way to build your ladder is literally, this is what I find. What I find works is if you stand it up, shoot down. Start in the middle. Or you can even put them like this. One here. One there. I'm just so fucking tired today. Line up your marks.
Wee beastie was being quiet for a while there, eh?
How's my live going? Just so you know.
Oh.
Can we have some light down here?
No?
Okay. Make life harder always.
Huh?
I said make life harder always.
Do you not have a portable light?
No, I didn't think about that. It was just like building bulkheads, right?
Well, turn that
All my lights are dead.
room on.
Where?
Hit that switch on the wall.
There's a light in here? Oh, perfect. It's better than nothing.
There you go. Asking you shall receive, buddy. Where's your wrist?
No, it's sore.
That's the one you hold the tool with too, right?
I know, yeah.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
If you like cookies.
Who doesn't like cookies? Love to eat cookies.
Cable guy. So put this one on the end. Now, I guess we only need 5 blocks, not 6. But that's good. We're gonna need it. We're gonna need it for everything. So now, to install this yourself, it can be. Not everybody can do it, but it can be pretty easy. We're basically going to make a mark. Actually, that should just butt against the bottom of that wall. Yeah. That'll work. I'm going to set myself up in the middle. all I need is one nail. But we're gonna move that out to where my line is. Nicely set up. You don't need like 100 screws. You literally need a couple nails and you're good. Put another one here. Done. So that's your ladder for your bulkhead. Touch off my line on this one, so I'm going to just pry it over. So that is nice and tight. And then let's just put another nail. So, this bench is a workout over here. So now you can see our ladders on. Check this out. And we got our line. Look. Our line is perfect. All the way down. Ignore this line right here. That was where it roughly was. And see why I overhanged that 1.5 inches, so I can nail it to that joist properly. So let's get that going. I don't know if you can see that. Oh yeah, you can totally see that. All right. Just want it to be right on that line. So probably. that's on that line. And I can shoot it from the backside. If I can get there. Perfect. Now, what you want is a nice square from the joist down. And since this wall is just moving, we're gonna square this one end. Like so. Mark on this back side so we know exactly where it's going. Alright, I was trying to avoid shooting through that. There. One nail. Let's get the perfect. Alright. Now the beauty of this is going to be after we throw our on the wall across there, right? Watch this. This is how we're going to do that part. I'm going to just turn your attention to this area back here. And I'm just going to shoot. It's actually pretty good. Should shoot this one to the wall. Yeah. Notch. This for this steel plate here. You don't really have to notch it much though. Alright, let's turn it back to here because there's a steel plate hanging down. I'll show you after I've notched it. We need like a 1/4 inch or so. You know, I'm going to notch it like even more. It's not a big deal where I'm cutting it. here's what I've done. Right here, can you see it? There's a line here and a line here. This is going to be the depth. So when it goes against the wall, it's going to go with this notches. Check it out. You see how right here this plate sticks out? That's what we're cutting around. So I'll set it up. There's two ways you can do this. You can run a bunch of cuts across the top. If you set the if you set the guard like so, right, so that the blade just comes down far enough, you can do that. And just that's one way of doing it. And then what you do is you literally just knock out those pieces. But I'm just doing this. Man, this floor is so slippery the wood won't even stay there. So I'm just going to do this way. It's called a pocket cut. So basically, you obviously have to have your hand on the saw properly. So you see how these cuts I made earlier? This is how you would get rid of those. So if you wanted to do that kind of a notch, you could do that way. But now this piece should go right against the wall. Perfectly. Look at that. Snug. Like a bug. Okay, all I gotta do now is transfer the lines. You guys can't even see that. Let's do this. Maybe you can see that way. Yeah, you can see. Perfect. All I gotta do is get the first line, and from there I can go. So I did do it 22 and a quarter. And now I'll just transfer lines. Usually you want to do this before you put it up. Don't do it like how I just did it. I'm literally that tired that I'm forgetting things and missing steps and whatever else comes with the territory. But here's another trick. You can literally take a nail, because you have nobody to help you hold this, right? And you put your square up. And then I wonder if it's going to work with this T-square. This T-square is different. So this way you can hook onto it. So we can go 2 foot on center now. Because we're taking from that already. I already changed measurement. So this is a T-square. This speed square. A little different than the one I usually have. You can usually just put one nail and it'll hold, and now you can hook onto it. But we've got our marks. So let's get back to her. Ladies and gentlemen, Texas Major Jack here. Living life, loving life. So I only need these marks. Alright. Now we can measure my first piece and my middle piece. So we have our T-square. I'm going to show you how I measure the bottom pieces here. Probably need to shoot that to the wall to get an accurate measurement. Out of nails. So we want this bulkhead to be square. How do we achieve that? You need a square. So, since this piece runs right there, I want to check. You could do this 2 ways. You could take a little piece and shoot it while it's square and then take your measurement, which I should show you both ways actually. I got busted wood here. I guess I could use one of these. So you could do this. You could shoot a piece somewhere and then square it and shoot another piece. Shoot another nail. So let's say, well, you can't even see it there. Will it turn? So dropping the phone. So let's say we shoot this piece. This is one way of doing it. You put your square up, and you just bring that piece to where it's going to sit tight against that square. And then shoot. Now that holds that nice and solid. And then you can check everything else. If it's decent, nice and square. Nice and square. Almost. This one I can do the same thing. This is just if you're working by yourself, obviously. So now you know that bulkhead is bullets. Look at that. If you look straight down that, it's square as square can be. I don't know what that's all about, grandfather, whatever. So that's all square. Now, I can measure this one. I should put a nail right where the stuff is. Wire's driving crazy. Measure from there to the edge. And we got 61 and a 16. Now I'm going to cut this line in like 2 seconds if I keep getting hooked up. So now, I guess you can't see the whole thing. I should set this camera up a little bit better here. Let's do this. That way you guys can see what I'm doing. What did I cut that at? 51 and a 16th? Come on. off by a lot. I made a mistake. Things happen. Let's double check that again. What did I cut it at? 60 and a 16, that's why. I'm an inch and a half short. Alright. Cut it 3 times and still too short. 61 and a 16. There we go. Let's cut it. Pieces of wood are not exactly straight either. Jesus, that's twisted. I can't even use this piece of fucking wood. God damn it. I didn't look at it. It's twisted. Who would have thought, right? Let's set up the camera over here. So you can witness all the craziness. All crazy all the time. Here we are, Texas Mickey Track, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, well, I'm going to leave that there for a minute. I'm going to take a bunch of other measurements. Over here. Losing my patience. Two. Oh, I need food is what I need. Should leave all this stuff. I'm tripping over shit on the job site. So we're pretty much 61 over 16. Let's check these boards now. Make sure they're all straight. That one's good. That one's good. 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna make the 1, 2 by 5. I need 5 really, because I'm gonna take that other one off. Alright. Let's see how straight this one is. That was a good too. So, the reason why we didn't nail that other one, check it out. This board here, look at how twisted it is. Like if I line this up with the bottom of that, that's how twisted that is. It's too twisted to use. I don't know why it does that. When I go to switch the camera too many times, it'll end the live. But hi to everyone who's saying hi. So, going to do this. So I had 61 and the 16th on all of these, I'm pretty sure. Let's check this one here. Yep. That's good. That means the wall is straight. 61. And the 16th. Watch it as I cut it. I put my pencil mark on a line and on my square, boom. Line, square, boom. Line, square, boom. Alright, we got everything we need to replace that, even that messed up stud that's in there. We're gonna fix that. Let's put this up here. Away. You guys can witness. Alright, everything's square. That's good now. What did I do? I'm gonna lose my mind. Did I do my ADD again? Not on all of them. Only on one. Everything else is good. Oh my god. Oh. So we screwed up one more. Whatever. We'll use it somewhere else. Add extra wood. This one's good. Check for the crown. Alright. Now that's in there nice and solid. We can take this one out. We can put in so we can put a little one up. A little loose over there. Put it here. Alright, come up here. Nice and solid. can rest the piece of wood on the nail. That way you don't have to do a circus act with the thing. Because it's just slightly loose. Do the same thing. Everything's good. Let's see how level it is. Pretty friggin' good. Everything here is good. Good. Now this off. The wires are in there. Not hanging down on my head anymore. Now it's all square. You take that piece of wood off. Oh my God. I don't know why that one wouldn't come up. Alright, now check this bulkhead out. Right? Look at it. Nice and tight. Looks like a bullet when you look down it. It should be straight. Super straight, super square. Like I said, Now this brace can come off, and that's nice and square. We're gonna run another piece here over that edge, and then we're gonna build another section in here. But I think it's time to go and grab something to eat, because I'm fading and I'm tired. I gotta come back and finish it. So with that, I'll get back to you if you guys want to watch. I'm gonna do another YouTube later, let the phone charge, and go from there. Hi to everybody. Thank you. Bye.